Today will be the hottest day of the year so far. Coming up, we'll get you prepared for what will douse the heat at the end of the week.
Anti-ice protests are spreading from Los Angeles across the country, including to Kansas City. We'll hear the message from demonstrators here at home.
1 year now to the World Cup, what that means for Kansas City in terms of soccer and what it means in terms of dollars.
KMBC 9 First News starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, and thanks so much for joining us on First News. I'm Jamie Weiss. Cody and Donna have the morning off. Nick Bender, though, is here with your first alert forecast, and what a day it's going to be, Nick.
Yeah, the heat's going to show up. Not extreme heat, excessive heat, but summer heat. We haven't had a lot of summer heat so far this year, this season. We're just entering it, but we haven't had a lot of hot days. Haven't had a 90-degree day yet. That may change after today. 59 degrees out your door, another hazy sunrise, temperatures in the 50s, 59 degrees, but they're going to get up and go here quickly. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that heat index. As the dew point values climb, so will that heat index along with the air temperature. As we look ahead here in the 12-hour forecast, get ready for 90 degrees this afternoon with a south breeze at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cumulus clouds bubbling up at the end of the day. There might be a few raindrops. You might hear a rumble of thunder, but there won't be much. If any showers do pop up in that warm and sultry air mass, they're not going to last long. They'll be the size of like a neighborhood, real tiny stuff. Isolated showers and thunderstorms, so a few more storms possible Thursday afternoon and evening, and then again on Friday. Neither of those days are washout days. Really long, dry times, fewer wet times, and typical summer heat and humidity will continue over the weekend into next week. Jamie.
Okay, appreciate that heads up. Thank you, Nick. Well, protests against Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has spread across the country in response to the demonstrations in Los Angeles. Protesters in the metro gathered at the Liberty Memorial yesterday to stand in solidarity with activists and immigrants.
Tell me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
The protests became a march, moving from the Liberty Memorial and heading downtown. The size of the crowd grew to around 800 people as the evening went on. Anger over the Trump administration's arrest of undocumented immigrants ramped up over this past weekend, and local protesters say they will help in the fight.
The Constitution is for all of us, right? And she needs us now. She needs her defenders.
Our field crews say the protest was peaceful overall, though there was a fight with a bystander at one point, and later someone did set off a firework. This morning, downtown Los Angeles is under a curfew. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's use of the National Guard is expanding, all while a legal clash with California escalates. As our Jackie DeFusco reports, neither side shows signs of backing down.
Well, Democrats have accused President Trump of further inflaming tensions by deploying the military to deal with these LA protesters. But President Trump, for his part, says that the troops are staying there until there is peace.
By having the military, it de-escalates. That was the only way. These people are agitators, they're troublemakers. I believe many of them are paid.
Now, some National Guardsmen are protecting ICE agents as they carry out arrests. That's moving troops closer to engaging in law enforcement actions like deportations. This as Trump leaves open the possibility of invoking a rarely used emergency power called the Insurrection Act, which allows the president to deploy military forces inside the U.S. to suppress rebellion. The president has already activated more than 4,000 National Guard members and 700 Marines in response to LA protests over immigration raids that at times have turned violent. As demonstrations spread to other cities across the United States, California Governor Gavin Newsom warned that the Trump administration would not stop at his state.
California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived.
Now, Governor Newsom is asking a court to immediately intervene and stop the military from assisting federal immigration agents. However, a judge decided not to rule immediately and instead set a hearing date for Thursday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jackie DeFusco.
The Pentagon says deploying the National Guard and Marines to LA is expected to cost $134 million and last 60 days. Kansas City, Missouri police are investigating a crash that severely injured a pedestrian. Police say that pedestrian was walking in the road around 11 last night on 210 Highway near North Kimball when they were hit by an SUV. They're in the hospital in critical condition right now. Police say the driver immediately stopped and they are cooperating with the investigation. A bill aimed at keeping the Chiefs and the Royals in Missouri is one step closer to the governor's desk. A House committee signed off on the bill yesterday, setting up a final vote in the House today. The committee's approval came after almost 3.5 hours of testimony. The bill sets up a way for the state to issue bonds to cover up to half the cost of new stadium construction. The head of the Greater Kansas City Sports Commission, Kathy Nelson, spoke in favor of the bill, saying the Chiefs and Royals have put Kansas City on an international map.
And I spoke about the passion we have around it, the global media attention that we're getting. We wouldn't have that without these teams. When I travel, whether it's domestically or internationally, people want to know about the Chiefs and the Royals.
We'll have a crew in Jefferson City today for that Missouri House vote. You can look out for those reports in our evening newscast. Kansas is still offering the teams a Star Bonds package covering up to 70% of new stadium construction. This package would use sales taxes collected at the stadiums to pay off the bonds. The deadline for the deal is the end of the month. The Royals confirmed last month that a business affiliate of the team bought the mortgage of the Aspiria campus at 119th and Null in Overland Park, but the team says no stadium site has been chosen. So we know there's been a lot going on in terms of the future of the stadiums. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story for you through the entirety of it all. You can look for those updates right here and online at KMBC.com. The city of Overland Park has opened up a brand new free shuttle system as of last weekend, and they're trying to get the word out. It's all in an effort to continue to bring people to downtown Overland Park while the city is still building a new farmers market pavilion and gathering area. KMBC 9's Rachel Ripp joins us live this morning to explain the program. Hey, Rachel.
Hey Jamie, good morning. Yes, so if you want to use that free shuttle on Saturdays, you can park here at City Hall in Overland Park. Now, city leaders say they've had good feedback so far. They're just hoping to get the word out so more people can take advantage of it. Now, if you want to be a part of this, it'll be available to locals every Saturday through July 26th from 7:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. There are 4 stops you can hop on and off the shuttle at, and the route takes about 15 minutes total. The city is using the Johnson County Transit's bus as their Saturday shuttle, and it has a special sign that says so.
I actually talked to somebody when I was riding the shuttle on Saturday who said, I've never been here before. I've lived in Overland Park my whole life and I don't really come downtown, so this was a nice way to be able to get downtown. So we really appreciate that. Our hope is that we start to hear more and more of that as people learn about it.
And again, as you heard Jamie say, the main reason they're doing this is because of construction down at the farmers market. It is taking up some parking spots down there and impacting some businesses. Something to note, this Saturday, that route will look a little bit different. They'll have some roads closed because of the art fair, so that route will be a little bit wider than normal. In Overland Park, Rachel Ripp, KMBC 9 News.
Thank you, Rachel. And at 6:07, we do want to check in with Nick Bender. If that's something folks are planning to do this weekend, is that going to be on the other side of this hot wave we're dealing with?
It's going to get warm again over the weekend.
Okay.
So it's going to be hot and humid today, then it might cool off just a touch Thursday and Friday, and then highs will return to the upper 80s near 90 over the weekend. So I think we're solidly in that summer pattern now. Those days in the 60s and 70s, I think they're mostly gone. I mean, there might be a few exceptions over the summer if we get a day where you get poured on, but it's not showing up over the next 9 days. 59 degrees this morning. Still feels comfortable, but this afternoon with increasing temperatures and humidity, it's going to be 90 degrees. Maybe the first 90-degree day of the year here in Kansas City. Thursday, Friday, we do back off the temperatures. It'll be relatively cooler than today. You might not notice it that much. Increased cloud cover Thursday and Friday, and the chance of a few showers, possibly a couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon and the evening. Not lasting long, not everywhere, no washout or impact days there. Let's go to News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins.
All right, Nick, thanks so much. Taking a look at your first alert traffic. It is 6:08, and here they are again, southbound I-35, just like we saw yesterday with some construction, some overlay work going on here at 152 Highway. Looks like the overlay work goes almost all the way back to 69 Highway, certainly back past 291. With that and the single lane stuff, they're supposed to be out of there at 6. But yesterday it was, yeah, I think closer to 7 before we saw that, maybe 6:30. We'll keep a close eye on it for you, though. But second verse, same as the first, as we saw yesterday. Again today, there's some slow going through this one-lane stuff. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper Dime, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, 1 year from today, the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup will begin, ushering in a frenzied few weeks in 16 cities across North America, including right here in Kansas City. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine is live for us this morning at Union Station, where some big announcements are coming in just a few hours, right, Martin?
That's right, Jamie. Ceremonies marking that countdown of World Cup 2026 will start here at Union Station at 9:30. And while we're talking about Union Station, take a look at the main entrance here. Banners are up, and you see that one there. We are 26. Kansas City, get used to that. You're going to see that logo a lot over the next year. Now, Arrowhead Stadium will host 6 matches during the World Cup, 4 so-called group stage games, and then 2 single elimination round matches, one in what soccer calls the round of 32. That's the first round of that knockout round, and then a quarterfinal match. Now, the first match played at Arrowhead will be June 16th of next year. Of course, we don't know the teams just yet, but the impact on Kansas City could very well outpace what we're seeing athletically with the World Cup. The Kansas City Business Journal reporting that the economic benefit to Kansas City may hit $650 million, fueled by what's expected to be in the neighborhood of 650,000 visitors coming to KC, many of them traveling internationally, and all of them spending money in restaurants, hotels, transportation. And that's just a start of how that money is going to be spent. So some of what is likely to happen during today's ceremonies here at Union Station is a reminder of what a tremendous business opportunity the World Cup is providing for Kansas City. Now, we mentioned 1 year to go before the first match. That first match will be played in Mexico City, which is a reminder that it's North America that's hosting the World Cup this year, not just one country, hosted in Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
Thank you, Martin. Well, there is so much work happening behind the scenes as Casey prepares for the World Cup. Next, the lingering question organizers still can't answer for a few more months. Plus, police are looking for a man they say impersonated an ICE agent in order to rob a store. The change, experts say, needs to happen now to prevent things like this from happening.
Your station leading the way with First Alert Weather, Kansas City's largest, most experienced team, KMBC 9 News.
It is 6:14 on your Wednesday morning as we take a live look at the sunrise coming up over the Country Club Plaza. 58 degrees at last check. It's going to be a warm one today. In fact, today is going to be the hottest day of the year so far, with high temperatures reaching into the 90s. Nick is going to get us ready for what will douse the heat at the end of the week. But Johnny Rollins, weather should not be a factor for this morning drive.
Not the weather for sure, but a little bit of hanging on construction here. It is, Jamie, that same scenario we saw with the overlay work yesterday, southbound I-35 up in the North Lane, 615. Taking a look at your first alert traffic. Looks like a traffic truck, maybe a MoDOT truck or a construction truck, I'll put it that way. On the right shoulder there, this is the world-famous southbound at County Road A for I-35, and if you're wondering where that is, and most people I'm sure do, but that's how it's labeled, it's going to be between 69 Highway and 291. So still down in one lane through here, although I don't see any cones at this specific location. As you get further down, you do lose that left lane. So it's supposed to be done at 6 o'clock, not unlike yesterday. They're still out there, and we don't have any word when they're going to clear. We'll certainly keep you posted, but yeah, allowing an extra 10 or 15 minutes right now probably would be just enough for you to not be late where you're trying to get to. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, police are looking for a man they say pretended to be an ICE agent in order to rob an auto parts shop. Philadelphia police say this man, who was dressed in a police-type outfit, yelled immigration when he entered the store and zip-tied the cashier. He then took $1,000 and left the store. It only took about 30 seconds. A nonprofit in the area says this kind of thing could be avoided with more transparency from ICE.
There's got to be a way to have things a little bit clearer, as well as the process be clearer, so that citizens that want to cooperate can without being taken advantage of by people who are up to no good.
Police say you can always ask for identification from law enforcement officers. As far as ICE agents go, even if they're in plain clothing, officers say they never work alone. A federal appeals court is ruling that Trump can keep many of his tariffs in place while legal challenges play out. The Court of International Trade tried to halt the tariffs by ruling that the president overextended his powers, but the administration appealed. The court now must decide whether the president has the power over trade that he says he does. Well, we are now 1 year out from the start of the FIFA 2026 Men's World Cup. Some 650,000 people are expected to come to Kansas City next year for this international event. KMBC 9's Cody Holyoke sat down with the person leading the charge to get KC ready for the games.
When the train stops, what do people see when they get off the train, and how are we showing them our culture and our community?
Pam Kramer's asking a lot of important questions. She's the CEO of KC 2026, the group in charge of coordinating Kansas City's preparations for the World Cup. It's no small task getting ready for the world's largest sporting event. Construction projects are in full force at Arrowhead and along the streetcar line, and there's a lot happening behind the scenes to prepare for a melting pot of cultures in our own backyard.
There are a lot of unknowns as far as we don't know which teams are coming to Kansas City, right? And which cultures, which countries will be represented here. How do you prepare for that ahead of time?
I think it's two things. The first is focusing on what we do know. So we know there will be at least 7 teams here during the group stage alone. So we know we should prepare for a wide variety of cultures, right? And then as we start to know which teams are coming, understanding those cultural traditions and tendencies, and educating the business community and our residents about those, which cultures tip and which don't, and will we have those fan bases here, and how should we be thinking about that?
Kansas City may get top billing, but Pam points out the entire region needs to be ready for hundreds of thousands of visitors.
We have team base camp locations in Kansas. We've got, I think people will fly into Wichita and St. Louis and make their way to Kansas City and all parts across the region. So it is definitely a region-wide effort.
Part of that effort also means enlisting the help of volunteers from our area to help with the venues and events for the World Cup. You can start the process of signing up online at kansascityfw26.com. Cody Holyoke, KMBC 9 News.
You can watch Cody's full conversation with Pam Kramer right now. Just go to KMBC.com and click on the Heart of the Matter tab. The Royals are hosting the World Series runners-up for a 3-game series at Kauffman. Last night, Royals rookie and St. Joseph native Noah Cameron took the mound for Game 1 against the Yankees, and he did great. But New York's Aaron Judge has still got it too, smashing a double homer that sets the tone for the rest of the game. Not even rising star Jack Caglione can turn things around. With just 1 RBI, the Royals lose this one 10-2. The Royals will take on the Yankees in Game 2 of the series tonight. First pitch is set for 6:40. Hopefully Nick will fare a little bit better, but in terms of the forecast tonight, I mean, are people going to need to, can they even bring in fans into Kauffman?
I don't know, but I do know that it's going to be hotter and more humid than yesterday's game. So take that into account when you're making your plans to head to Kauffman Stadium today. This could be the first 90-degree day of the year. We're overdue. When you factor in the humidity, it might feel a few degrees warmer than that mark. But we're going to back off the 90s for the next couple of days on Thursday and Friday with increased cloud cover. There's a chance of isolated showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon and the evening. But I want to emphasize there's going to be much longer dry stretches than wet stretches on Thursday and Friday. If the showers or storms do pop up, they're going to be brief. They're going to be hit and miss. They're not going to have long-lasting impacts on your outdoor activities. For today, over the next 12 hours, hazy sunshine, a south breeze about 10 miles per hour, reaching 90 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and staying there through 6 o'clock this evening. Late in the day, you may see some puffy little cumulus clouds developing in the heat of the afternoon. There might even be a few rain showers dropping out of those clouds, or rumbles of thunder, lightning, rumbles of thunder. They'll be very small, hit or miss, just kind of air mass type showers that pop up. Pretty typical this time of the year. Thursday, Friday, highs in the low to mid 80s. On Thursday, again with that chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon and the evening. You'd see future scans of forecast of the radar. You know, it's not showing much in here tomorrow morning, and it's not showing much in the afternoon either. You see just a few hit or miss showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two through Thursday evening. That'll play out again on Friday. Then it dries out over the weekend. Your outside activities in good shape. It's just going to be hot and humid. A good weekend for the pool with highs in the mid to upper 80s, close to 90 all through next week, with a chance of pop-up showers and thunderstorms beginning again next Tuesday. So it's going to feel a lot more like June today and really for the foreseeable future. I think summer finally showing up. And there are scattered shower and thunderstorm chances, not many, but there are no washout days, which would be impact days, and no severe weather days, which would be alert days. Jamie.
Okay, appreciate the heads up there. Thank you, Nick. Well, we are learning more about Ed the zebra's epic journey after he escaped and spent more than a week on the run. Next, the reason his owners went with a helicopter to catch their escapee. This morning, we are hearing from the owners of Ed the Zebra after he escaped and spent more than a week on the run. This is sure to be the enduring image of Ed being airlifted to safety moments after his capture. Just can't get over this. So his owners bought Ed just one day before he escaped, and catching him proved tricky because you can't safely lasso a wild zebra like you would a horse. A tranquilizer dart was ruled out because of the concern that Ed could keep running for a few minutes and end up on the road. So they hired a team out of Texas with a chopper.
Chase it out with a gator, which was what we did, away from the interstate, and then they had a team walking through the woods, and then it pushed it out into the big, huge open field.
Well, Ed is now safe in much more secure locations, and his owners say while they love zebras, they don't plan to own any more after this experience. Probably a great idea. KMBC 9 Cares for Kids needs your help to support families dealing with life-changing disabilities. We're partnering with Ability KC to cover 200 therapy sessions for kids in need. So far, we've donated enough to cover 40 sessions. Ability KC provides therapy services that typically aren't covered by insurance. This includes things like swim or music therapy, as well as group sessions. Donate now to make a difference at kmbc.com/community. KMBC 9 Investigates is getting results after hearing multiple complaints about a Kansas City funeral home. Next, the recommendation from state officials for Savory and Sons. Anti-ICE protests make it to Kansas City as the situation in Los Angeles continues to escalate. The impact of demonstrations around the country.
To make it easier to get into downtown Overland Park and to explore downtown Overland Park.
Overland Park leaders are trying to get the word out about the city's new free shuttle service, the route you can ride along every weekend. And today marks 1 year until the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup begins. We are getting you prepared for some special announcements to kick off the countdown.
KMBC 9 First News starts now.
Good morning, Kansas City. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. It is 6:30. I'm Jamie Weiss, joined by First Alert meteorologist Nick Bender. And a year out until the World Cup. We've been building up to this for a while.
It's a day is long and the years are short kind of thing where you go, wow, there's only a year left. I mean, we're going to blink and it's going to be like, oh, tomorrow. It's a week away, yeah, or it's tomorrow. I mean, it happens so quick, like a change of the weather here in the Midwest. And we have a change on the way for today. You got to be ready for it. It's going to be a hot and humid day. 59 degrees right now, still comfortable. The south breeze at 9 miles an hour, but the hazy sunshine kind of gives away what's on the way for today. And that's heat and humidity. So we got the heat index loaded back up again because that is going to play later this afternoon as temperatures and dew point values increase. As it becomes hotter and more humid, it's going to feel hotter than the air temperature, which is going to be 90. This will be the first 90-degree day of the year. Feel like temperatures will run a few degrees above that mark, and there will be a few clouds that pop up later today. You might hear a rumble of thunder. You might get just a quick little rain shower, these air mass type showers that pop up during the summertime. Get enough heating of the day and moisture, they can pop up, but they're not going to be a big deal. Isolated showers and storms are a possibility at the end of the week, and the typical summer heat and humidity, this hotter weather pattern, Johnny, it looks like we're finally beginning it, and we're in it for the foreseeable future.
Well, I think a little bit welcome as far as warming up and getting the pools a little bit warmer. I know the kids have been enduring some pretty chilly temperatures. All right, it is 6:31. Take a look at your First Alert traffic. That to the upper right is going to be where we have some good news. This is southbound I-35, the on-ramp from 291 to southbound I-35. If you look at that far left lane, it looks like they're backing up there, picking up those barriers that are keeping you out of that left lane as they're wrapping up this that was supposed to wrap up at 6 o'clock, the overlay work that normally is just overnight, but yeah, it's kind of hanging on. Did the same thing yesterday. One way or the other, it's the price of progress, we'll put it that way. But I think we're probably just a few minutes from, well, this goes all the way back to 69 Highway, so it may be a while, but within the next half hour, I think we'll be normal through here. It is better, certainly, than it was a while ago. At the very most, I think a 15-minute drive time delay, and that should be slowly but surely improving. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, time right now is 6:32. Hundreds of people marched through downtown Kansas City last night, calling for an end to ICE raids and showing support for the demonstrations in Los Angeles. News Chopper 9 was over the protest. One rally started near Chavez and Southwest Boulevard, while another started at Liberty Memorial. These two groups eventually merged, blocking streets and chanting for more than an hour. At last check, Kansas City, Missouri police say nobody was arrested. Los Angeles city leaders now have a curfew set in parts of the city as those ICE protests there continue. This all comes after President Donald Trump deployed both National Guard troops and Marines, meaning there are now more U.S. troops in L.A. than in Iraq and Syria. ABC's Barry Russum is watching from Washington.
This morning, a new curfew in parts of downtown Los Angeles as the protests against ICE stretch into another day. Police on horseback called in, breaking up crowds.
If you incite violence or destroy our communities, you're going to be held to account.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says more than 220 people have been arrested so far, with investigators reviewing video to build more cases.
The situation was winding down and was concentrated in just a few square blocks downtown. But that's not what Donald Trump wanted. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. Other states are next.
President Trump deploying more than 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to Los Angeles, where there are now more active troops than in Iraq and Syria. Their role in dispersing crowds has been minimal. Trump warning the use of the military could be seen in other cities.
This is the first, perhaps, of many, or perhaps, if we didn't attack this one very strongly, you'd have them all over the country.
Trump speaking after addressing troops at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, where he appeared to accuse Governor Newsom and LA's mayor of paying the demonstrators without providing any evidence.
And they paid troublemakers, agitators, and insurrectionists. They're engaged in this willful attempt to nullify federal law and aid the occupation of the city by criminal invaders.
Protests against ICE spreading to other cities from coast to coast. Overnight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he will deploy National Guard troops ahead of protests this week. In his words, to ensure peace and order. For now, the National Guard troops and Marines will stay in Los Angeles. California had asked for a temporary restraining order. The judge declined until a full hearing tomorrow. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Count on KMBC 9 News for updates when it comes to ICE raids and protests here at home and around the country. We're going to bring you the latest developments on air and online at KMBC.com. This morning, a motorcyclist is dead after a crash in Independence. Police tell us the rider was on a Harley headed east on 44th Terrace near Phelps when they veered into the westbound lane and hit a parked Kia Soul. Both the motorcyclist and car caught fire. The rider, who was not wearing a helmet, died at the scene. No one was in the Kia. Prosecutors have filed more charges against a man accused in the murder of Kansas City sports reporter Adon Manzano. Ricky White now faces several charges, including conspiracy to commit theft, identity theft, and money laundering. Now, this is on top of a second-degree murder charge. Manzano was found dead in a hotel room while covering the Super Bowl in New Orleans back in February. Danette Colbert and Christian Anderson have also been charged in his death. KMBC 9 Investigates is getting results after a lot of complaints about a Kansas City, Missouri funeral home. There's a new recommendation to shut down Savory and Sons. The Missouri State Board of Embalmers and Funeral Directors heard testimony from several customers Tuesday. They included one complaint from a woman who said she still hadn't received her father's ashes more than a year and a half after his funeral. The business had been on probation since it opened in 2020.
It's not something I think any board wants to do, but that is something that can be an outcome, and it does occur from time to time. So yes, that's an option that the board has.
The Missouri Attorney General's office is investigating Savory and Sons. The landlord for that funeral home is also suing the owner, Frank Savory, for failing to pay rent. Time now is 6:37, and the city of Overland Park has opened up a brand new free shuttle system as of last weekend, and they're trying to get the word out. This is all in an effort to continue to bring people to downtown Overland Park while the city is still building a new farmers market pavilion. KMBC 9's Rachel Ripp joins us this morning with more. Hey, Rachel.
Hey Jamie, good morning. Yes, so if you want to take that shuttle on Saturday, you can park your car here at the Overland Park City Hall. Now, city leaders say that they've had a good feedback so far. Obviously, it's only been open for about a week, but they are hoping to get that word out and so more people can take advantage. Now, this will be available to locals every Saturday through July 26th from 7:30 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. There are going to be 4 different stops you can hop on and off the shuttle at, and the route takes about 15 minutes total. The city is using the Johnson County's transit bus as their Saturday shuttle, and it also has a special sign that says so.
We're always trying to find solutions for parking down there because we know that, especially in a smaller and older downtown business district, parking can be a challenge if you have to walk a little bit farther.
And again, the main reason they're doing this, they say, is because of that construction to their farmers market downtown. They say that is taking up some parking spots and impacting some businesses in that area. So something else to note, this Saturday that route will look a little bit different because of the art fair. Some streets will be closed, so that route will look a little bit wider than normal. In Overland Park, Rachel Ripp, KMBC 9 News.
Rachel, thank you. And it is perfect timing to have this set up because summer, of course, great time to grill out, go to the pool. Also, farmers market season, a great way to get down to the OP Farmers Market.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a great weekend for that. There's going to be some rain and thunderstorm chances in there too, but I would not let that stop you from making some outside plans for this weekend. Today could be the hottest, most humid day of the year so far. We haven't had a 90-degree day yet, and we've got a chance of reaching that here in Kansas City this morning. It's comfortable. It's 59 degrees, but the temperatures and the dew point temperatures are going to increase through the day. So it's going to get hotter and it's going to get more humid. 90 degrees this afternoon. There could be a brief, tiny little rain shower later today, just about anywhere. You get enough heating in the day with moisture. Get these air mass type showers to pop up. It's pretty common in the summertime here in Kansas City. It'll be a warm night with a low only of about 70. And then as we look ahead here for Thursday and Friday, there is a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms on both days, mainly in the afternoon and the evenings. Relatively cooler compared to today with the increased cloud cover, highs in the low to mid 80s on Thursday and Friday.
Okay, appreciate the heads up there. Thank you, Nick. Well, 1 year from today, the FIFA Men's 2026 World Cup begins, ushering in a frenzied few weeks in 16 cities across North America, including Kansas City. KNBC 9's Martin Augustine is live at Union Station, where some big announcements are coming in just a few hours. Good morning, Martin.
Yeah, good morning, Jamie. Ceremonies marking the official countdown to World Cup 2026 will start here at Union Station right around 9:30 this morning. And speaking of Union Station, let's look up at the big windows there. You can see that banner that's up, FIFA World Cup. We are 26 Kansas City. Get used to that logo. You're going to see it a lot over the next year. Arrowhead Stadium will host 6 matches during the World Cup competition, 4 so-called group stage games, and then 2 matches in the single elimination round, one in what soccer calls a round of 32, which is the first round of that stage of the tournament, and then a quarter-final match. The first match played at Arrowhead will be June 16th of next year. Of course, the teams to be announced. But the impact on Kansas City is more than this world-class soccer competition. The Kansas City Business Journal reporting that the economic benefit to Kansas City of the World Cup may hit $650 million, fueled by what's expected to be some 650,000 visitors coming to KC, many of them traveling internationally, and all of them spending money in restaurants, hotels, transportation, and that's just a start of what they're going to be spending money on. Now, some of what will happen at this morning's event here at Union Station is going to bolster that point there, that the World Cup is a tremendous business opportunity throughout Kansas City and the Kansas City region. Now, we are talking about this being 1 year to the first match. That first match will be played in Mexico City, and this underscores the unique nature of this World Cup of 2026, not hosted by one country, but 3 countries comprising North America, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KNBC 9 News.
Thank you, Martin. And we already know that organizers are working hard to make sure the Metro is ready to welcome the tens of thousands of soccer fans. And one of organizers' top focuses is figuring out how to transport fans across the city. KC 2026 tells us they've secured 200 charter buses, and organizers want to use existing KC Ride KC bus routes as well as the streetcar to help all of those tourists explore Kansas City.
Our KC 2026 buses will be sort of a layer on top of that. We know that they will connect, visitors will use their service, but we want to enhance that with some additional buses for the additional people that are coming in town, and really looking at those primary routes of airport to downtown and from city center and park and ride locations to Arrowhead.
So it's worth noting that parking at Arrowhead will be very limited during the World Cup, so you'll likely need to use a park and ride option to get to the sports complex. Those pickup locations will be announced closer to the games. Federal officials say they stopped an attack plot on targeting Jewish Americans. This is part of a disturbing trend across the United States. Next, the sky-high increase in anti-Semitic incidences. Plus, a woman gets kicked out of court without even being there in person. The incident that prompted a judge to give her the boot during a Zoom hearing.
Your station leading the way, getting you prepared for important events and changes that affect your day. KNBC 9 News.
It is 6:45 on your Wednesday morning, and today is going to be the hottest day of the year so far, with high temperatures reaching the 90s. Nick is going to get us ready for what will douse the heat by the end of the week. But Johnny Rollins, how's the morning drive looking?
Well, we're looking pretty good right now, Jamie, but we do have an accident reported on I-35 from the Northland at 6:46. Taking a look at your first alert traffic. Doesn't look like this wreck, though, will be a big deal. Easy for me to say those involved in it probably not having a good day, but it's the off-ramp to Levee Road from southbound I-35 just before you get to the Bond Bridge. Look at traffic to the bridge now. Looks wide open and maybe scooting over a little bit on that ramp to make the exit, but doesn't look like it's going to be any kind of a factor for you, at least so far, and I don't anticipate it will get any worse. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Johnny. Federal authorities are revealing details of a terrorism plot they say targeted Jewish Americans. They've unsealed charges against a 20-year-old Pakistani national accused of plotting a coordinated attack on a Jewish center in Brooklyn. Authorities claim he was working in the name of ISIS. Last night, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle came together to mourn two Israeli embassy staffers shot and killed outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum last month. One of them, Sarah Milgram, was from Prairie Village.
We must come together in good faith as Democrats and Republicans, standing shoulder to shoulder to defeat anti-Semitism whenever and wherever it may be found, until we bury it in the ground, never to rise again.
Anti-Semitic attacks in the U.S. have gone up 300% since the war in Gaza began. Palestinian and Muslim communities have also seen a rise in hate crimes since then. A woman gets kicked out of a virtual court hearing for, of all things, making a sandwich.
When I call, no, we can't talk at the same time. Put whatever you're trying to prepare down. I'm going to be my daughter.
Asia Outerbridge was appearing for a misdemeanor charge when the judge called her out for not only making a sandwich, but for also wearing a robe. She also showed up late. Outerbridge says she is taking full responsibility.
I definitely was wrong. I could have came dressed better and more prepared. And I don't want the judge to think that I'm laughing at the situation at hand, because I'm not.
Outerbridge says her 3-year-old daughter was sick, and that's why she was multitasking. A new beach-themed restaurant is coming to the Power and Light District. The Palm Tree Club will open this fall, and here's part of what it'll look like. The chain has restaurants in Miami, Orlando, and Las Vegas. The company says the new club will bring tropical energy and world-class hospitality to Kansas City, featuring seafood, pasta, signature drinks, and music. Brisket, burn ends, ribs. Is your mouth watering yet? Our next KMBC 9 Chronicle Up in Smoke is celebrating everything KC barbecue. I hit the competition scene to see the joy behind what some call an expensive hobby. It's a pastime that's not for the faint of heart.
You'll see people start their fires next hour or so. There'll be a little bit more movement. This is the time of day I'm up all the time.
While time may be priceless, cooking in a barbecue competition is not.
It's crazy how expensive this is. A dumpster fire when stuff goes south, for sure. My baseball card collecting ended a long time ago for this. My days of playing golf ended a long time ago for this.
A Masters competition is probably close to 1,000. We do it because we enjoy it. If I didn't spend it on this, I'd spend it somewhere else.
Teams ready to put their cue to the test have a few things to learn.
So you see how these are all lined up perfectly straight? I didn't pay attention.
We only have half hour between turn-ins. That 30 minutes goes quick.
After you.
After you.
First, the judges will only take one bite, and that one bite has to be perfect.
Their big check and their rib champion banner.
And to win trophies like these, the price of glory doesn't come cheap.
Briskets range anywhere $200 to $300 each. It's the most expensive meat we cook.
It's a very expensive hobby. 9 times out of the 10 you leave a contest and you don't even kind of get your gas money back.
Up in smoke means to me is if we ruin anything, that money's gone up in smoke.
From the American Royal World Series of Barbecue to a competition where the winner gets their own restaurant at KCI, there is so much smoky goodness to explore. Chronicle Up in Smoke premieres Wednesday, June 18th at 7 o'clock on KMBC 9. The Kansas City Current return home this weekend. They are the hottest team in the National Women's Soccer League. The Current got back on the pitch Tuesday to practice, getting ready for their match against Racing Louisville Saturday night. They have a 5-point lead over Orlando right now in league standings. The Current have won 4 straight matches. The last 3 victories were on the road. Head coach Vlatko Andonovski says it's good to be home after such a tough stretch.
The way we finished it what makes it even more significant, because that was a tough game in Jersey against really good opponent, and to come back with the points that we did, it puts us in a pretty good spot before our home game.
Well, the current host racing Louisville Saturday night at CPKC Stadium. It's also Pride Night. The match kicks off at 6:30, and Nick, I'm assuming anyone heading out to that game needs to just be prepared for the heat of summer to stick around.
It's going to be warm and humid. I mean, I think we're beginning now that summer pattern with, highs typically in the 80s. 90s are common. July looks like it could be a scorcher, so hang on, a lot hotter times are on the way. So we're kind of getting acclimated to that heat today with what may be our first 90-degree day of the year. Feel like temperatures might run just a couple of degrees above that, so it's going to be a humid day. Relatively cooler for Thursday and Friday, low to mid 80s, more cloud cover, and there's a chance of isolated showers and storms Thursday and Friday afternoon. Much longer dry times than wet times. If any showers do pop up, they're going to be small, they're going to be brief. They're not going to have a significant or long-lasting impact on any of your outdoor activities that you have planned. 12-hour forecast for today, just hot and humid. 90 degrees this afternoon, a few cumulus clouds bubbling up. You might get a quick little douse of rain with some of those clouds. Showers, these pop-up showers, air mass showers this time of the year. You get enough moisture, enough heating, and they could pop up just about anywhere, like Thursday and Friday, for example. Let's look at future scans, the forecast of the radar. Tomorrow morning, you just don't see much going on here, and there's just not going to be a lot tomorrow afternoon, but there may be a few little showers and storms that just bubble up in the heating of the day. There's a little storm system overhead, mainly south of Kansas City, but it might provide just enough lift for some of those showers and storms. It dries out over the weekend. Your outside plants are in great shape. No risk of being poured on. It is going to get hotter, though, again, back near 90 on Sunday, Monday, and for most of next week. Shower and thunderstorm chances returning on Tuesday. So it is going to start to feel more like June, more like summer now, with scattered shower and thunderstorm chances, but no impact or washout days, and no days with any risk of severe weather, which would be an alert day. It's 6:52.
Right now, downtown Los Angeles is under curfew as anti-ICE protests continue. Hundreds of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines are in the city now on the orders of President Trump and without consent from California's governor. Good Morning America will share an update on the war of words between the president and Governor Gavin Newsom next on Channel 9. Today marks 1 year until the start of the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. 16 of those matches will be played right here in Kansas City. When First News continues next on KCWE, we're getting you prepared for some special announcements today as the 1 year countdown officially begins.
And today's going to be a hot and humid day, maybe the first 90-degree day of the year. 90 and humid, so the heat index value is going to be a few degrees above that. Relatively cooler for Thursday and Friday. Low chances of pop-up showers and thunderstorms both days. It dries out over the weekend for all of your outdoor activities. Highs back in the mid to upper 80s, so getting toasty again for next week with highs near 90 with a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That screams to me, the middle of summer, the middle of June. This that type of weather pattern.
Or just kind of like a little bit of rain, a little bit of not.
Yeah, and then a lot of heat.
A lot of heat. You know what? We won't complain. Thanks so much for joining us. GMA is next. First News continues over on KCWE.